want to welcome today, we've got Lisa Macqueen all the way from Australia. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Andrea. It is great to be with you today.
Well, I'm such a fan of yours, Lisa. I want to give our viewers a little bit of a background of what you've accomplished in your lifetime. And I've seen you in a different light on stage being recognized for excellence in business, but I also want to give another side of what you've done. Lisa took an average office cleaning company and turned it into a multi-million-dollar international empire in under 3 years. She's now in hot demand as a speaker, consultant, and mentor in the US, Australia, and Canada. She was recently named as one of America's premier experts and appeared on the Brian Tracy Show. Anyone who knows sales and marketing knows Brian Tracy, and appeared on CBS, NBC, and Fox affiliates in the US. And earlier this year, she co-authored a book with Brian Tracy called The Power Principles for Success. And this book has reached 2 Amazon best-selling categories. Welcome, Lisa. We're so excited to have you here with us.
Oh, thank you. It's a joy to be here. I'm really glad to be here with you today.
Now, Lisa, I'm just so thrilled and amazed with your story because I cleaned houses and did not experience the success that you experienced. Can you explain your story of where it all began for you?
Sure. We started, Clean Corp started 20 years ago. And at that time, my husband Hamish had his own business. He was a carpenter, and I worked in sales and marketing for a large international hotel chain. And look, money was tight, just like every other young family. We had we have 3 daughters, and at that time they were 3 tiny little daughters. And look, we got to a point, it was Boxing Day, and we realized that we had run out of money. We had no money left on our credit cards, no money in our wallet, no money in our account. And we knew that I wasn't going to get paid until the end of the month. So we pretty much had another week to go. So I was pretty stressed out about it because we are fiscally responsible people, Andrea, even though it didn't look like it at the time. And Hamish said to me, "Look, let's not worry about it now. Let's go down to the beach. Let's just think about what our next step is going to be." And so we went down there, and he went into the surf, and in no time flat, he was back out of the surf, walking up the beach towards the girls and I, with a great big smile on his face. And I thought at the time, good grief, why are you smiling? We're broke. But then he came to me and he said, look what I found. And he opened his hand, and he had a $10 and a $5 bill that had been tightly, scrunched up in some poor soul's pocket. And he found that in the surf. And look, we looked at that as it certainly was not going to change anything for us. We were still broke. But it was a turning point for us, Andrea. I think that day was the day that we figured out that we needed to figure out the next step in our lives. And we had kind of talked about what if we had a different type of business, because we already had a business, Hamish's building business. But we wanted to play a bigger game. I think that was really what we wanted to do. And so a few weeks after that, Hamish's brother, who worked in property management, said to him, look, if you need some extra work, I can get you some cleaning jobs, cleaning some of the buildings that we manage. So he started cleaning, and so he'd build during the day and then he'd clean at night. And very, very quickly he said to me, this is a fantastic business model, because if you do a good job, and then you have got income every month, because it's commercial cleaning, and people need commercial cleaning every day, or at least every week. So that's where Clean Corp was born. And Hamish ran the business on his own for the first 13 years. I mean, he did the quoting, he did the cleaning. I helped him with some of the cleaning after hours, but primarily it was all Hamish: quoting, cleaning. He did the taxes, he paid the accounts. He did it all, and that which is what most startups do. You have to do it all by yourself. And he grew the business to around the $700,000 mark, and then just sat on that number. He could not move it. It would not move. No matter what he did, he couldn't move it. And we talk about it, at that time, we would say, we're just so stubbornly plateaued, and that's kind of stuck, that terminology. And I think a lot of business owners experience that. They are able to grow their business through their passion and their hard work and their determination to a certain point, and then getting it from that point to the next level is where that's where the hard work really starts. You'd think the hard work would be in the startup, but the hard work is making that change and getting that, getting that lift off for your business. So he said to me, in year 13, I had a successful career, and he said to me, look, can you bring all of your sales and marketing experience into Clean Corp? Because I really think we can make this business amazing. I think we can grow it, but we need those skills in the business. And so, I was hanging on to my job by my fingernails, kicking and screaming. I didn't want to leave. I've always loved sales and marketing. Always loved people and the travel industry. So my previous job was the perfect job for me. But I made that shift over and came across, and look, the first week or so I was there, I was shocked at the fact that there was not one system or process for anything that Hamish did. So every single step of the way, it was cut and paste, it was manual, it was hard work. And coming from my background, where everything was so process driven, I thought, oh, okay, this is where I can make a change straight away. And that's kind of where I started.
Wow, Lisa, that's incredible. So you mean, was Hamish doing everything on his own, or did he have a team?
Well, by year 13, he had a team, but up until, he had people in different cleaning, in different jobs, but pretty much everything else, like office related, he was doing himself. So it
Wow.
was very, very labor intensive for him, and a testament to the amazing guy that he is, that he could do all of that all himself for so long.
I had no idea. He is quite a neat guy as
Yeah,
well. So you're very lucky to have him.
I
And
think
he
so.
with you as well. It's such a great team to see the both of you with this, and to see how you complement each other. Now, when you said that there were no systems and processes in place, what do you mean by that? What did you see was missing when you came in?
Yeah. Look, there was no way. I mean, we didn't even have a website, Andrea. Like
Oh,
that was number one. No
okay,
website.
that's a big thing.
That which is a big one. But back then, at that time, it wasn't as big as what it would be now. But I said to Hamish, we need a website. The other thing was there was no system in place to follow up with anyone, whether it be a prospect or an existing client. There was nothing. We were lucky if we did a follow-up phone call. It was stuff like that. So when I look back on the growth that was achieved, it was quite incredible that amount of growth was achieved, considering how little was done in relation to following up and having structure around that process, and making that something that was a dependable process, that you could say, okay, well, I've got 10 quotes out there and I've got all this follow-up going on, so I know that I'm going to get 5 of those. We didn't have any of that. So we couldn't, you couldn't look at your future and know that you were going to get another 10 jobs next month or 10 jobs a month after. There was nothing there. So having the follow-up in place was probably my number one job, to just get that right. But it's a lot of business owners don't realise how incredibly valuable and necessary it is to have a structure around how you keep track of a prospect or how you keep track of a client. And when you're in a business, in a service-based business as we are, it's one thing to attract a new client into your business, but if you're not looking after them once they're there, then you'll get new ones, but then your existing will just fall out the bottom of your funnel, which is no good. So it was like managing both ends of the funnel became like a really high priority.
Wow. Well, Lisa, you've got such a handle on this. What advice could you give to our Jumpstart to Success students who are, thinking about what's next? They're in high school and they're thinking about college and career. And what do you tell your three teenage girls? Because you've
Yeah.
really done such a great job. What advice could you give to someone who's young?
Well, the advice I would give is there's a couple of things. One is you really do need to have a fantastic work ethic, and look at yourself as, how can I add value to this situation instead of just taking up space in it. So um, for example, my all three of my daughters have always had jobs right through, their their high school years, and I love the fact that when I go to the local shop that my middle daughter works at, her boss races out to tell me how amazing she is, and the same with my eldest and the same with my youngest, because they understand that it's not just like when you're working in small business, the person very often that you're working under is the owner of that business, and that business is everything to them. That business, their home is very likely tied up in the financials for that business. Their futures are tied up in that. So to them, as an employee, if you can understand that and take that and understand that everything that you do to benefit the business is going to reflect back very favorably on you, but also make you an amazing member of the team, and give you great life skills. So just, being like that, I think, is really important. And the other thing is, if you want to be working when you're going through college, what can you do that won't affect your studies, but that will allow some money to come through? And I mean, cleaning is a great way to earn some extra money. It's a fantastic way to earn some extra money if you've got a good eye for detail and you are service and customer focused. Then you can do very, very well. And in fact, there's a great company called Student Maids in Florida. And Kristen Hadid started this business a couple of years ago. She's at university there, or at college there, and her business has just flourished. And she only hires students, female students with a 3.5 GPA and above.
Wow.
And her team, her story is really quite inspirational, and it just goes to show that with the right idea and the right attitude, you can literally do anything. You can do anything. You can turn any business on its head, bringing new fresh ideas. And what Kristen's done is quite frankly, it's incredible. So for any of the students out there who are listening, cleaning it's not a sexy or a social industry, but it pays well, and it's a very good business to get into. So I'd highly recommend it.
I wish I had some of these tips back when I was cleaning, because I was dragging myself into the ground. I didn't last very long, and it is a great industry, and I wish I had known some of these tips and strategies, because I had mentors, but none like you. I wish you were around back then.
Well, that's what I do now, and
I
I love it.
know, I
Yeah, I
know.
just
If
love
only
it.
I knew you, if we could only have gone back 15 years ago, I would
It's
have been
not too late. It's not too late, Andrea.
I know, I know. It's just incredible, Lisa. So now, what are some of the accomplishments that you've had with your life experiences? Like, how is it helpful for you to take your life experiences into where you are now to reach this level of success?
I think where it's been great for me is to see that the things that I try, and look, and let me put it out there right now. I want to be completely open and honest with everybody who's listening to this. I have tried a ton of things that have not worked. So not everything works, and that's important to put that out there. for every one that does work, there's probably three that don't work. So, being real about that. And I think from my previous job and all of my life experience, I think that I've come to this point in my life where I'm not afraid to make mistakes, to own it, but to go, okay, well, what was it that I learned from that? What did that teach me? And make sure that I don't make those same mistakes twice. And the other thing I think from everything that I've done is the love of learning. And I love reading. I love learning. Getting on an online, a webinar or something like that. And then it might be a 1 hour webinar, but if I learn one new thing, that has totally been worth my while. So it's kind of the sum of all parts, Andrea, if you like, of everything that you do and then applying it. There's nothing worse than wasted knowledge, and the people that are listening to this are students, and I think that it's knowledge is. A lot of people say, knowledge is power, or power is knowledge, or whatever. And I just don't believe that. I think it's the application of that knowledge that gives you the power. And if you don't apply what you learn, then it's kind of wasted time. So I think that's probably been one of my biggest lessons.
What a great lesson. So, if you could share one thing to help Jumpstart to Success graduates.
Just get in. You be all in. If something's going to be successful for you, you have to put yourself on the line. You have to push. That's where you get success from. It doesn't just come to you. Well, most people. It does. Even people like Tony Robbins, at some point in his life, he had to push to get that success, and so did like Oprah and all of those people.
Right.
And when you read their stories, you realize how very similar they are to us. So it's not a matter of trying. It's a matter of you just go for it. You're all in. You don't. There's nothing else. You push towards that goal, and you realize and understand that learning is a huge part of it. And I know that you're a fan of Bob Proctor, and I am very much a fan of Bob Proctor, and many other, John Assaraf is another person that I've always sort of, wanted as my mentor. I just love his work too. But the thing is, you really have to go all in. It's all in, and just push yourself as far as you can, and also look at the market that you're interested in. Is what you're thinking, is it going to be a saleable commodity? Is it going to be something people want? So do your research too. There's so many amazing tools now to research all different things to see if your idea will work, and you can test that as well. So do a little test on a Facebook ad or something like that, which won't cost you a lot of money. And that way, if you start to get some traction, then you know you're heading in the right direction. And that would be how I would approach it anyway. That's how we've always done it.
Well, this is incredible advice. So, Lisa, if other people watch this and just want to contact you or find out more, you have some incredible resources that work for any business. Here's
Yes.
my follow-up list that is on my desk. The best place to find out more about you is cleaningmarketer.com,
That's right.
and on Twitter at cleaningmktr, or Lisa at cleaningmarketer.com if they want to send you an email. Is that the
That's
best
right.
ways? Yeah.
That's the best way, or look me up on Facebook at Cleaning Marketer. I'd love, I mean, if anyone out there hears anything that resonates with them and they want to talk with me more, just reach out to me.
Lisa, you've been such an incredible inspiration for me, and I'm so thankful to have had this time with you. I want to thank you so much, all the way from Australia, for sharing your nuggets of success with our students. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to what's next for you, because I know it's big things.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. It's been a joy to be with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.